I say no more. So at this point in time, therefore, I want to ask Councillor Jennings to say a few words on behalf of himself and his COP colleague, Winston Ramsdorff. Councillor Jennings, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warner. Good evening, Shavona West. How are you feeling tonight? Great, great. I know just about now, there are lots of people everywhere asking the question, why? Why join the ranks of this soon-to-be great party? Great already. Thank you, sister. And my colleague here from the Congress of the People. Used to be from the Congress of the People. And my reason, our reason is simple. Before I go any further, I just want to ask Mr. Warner permission to give him a little nickname tonight. Mr. Warner? To give you a little nickname tonight? Sure, no problem. It's not Lagahu, don't worry, it's not that. I want to call Mr. Warner Action Jack. Oh, I like that name. Yeah! Action Jack. And I know that Chaguanas West know that better than anywhere else in the country. But I want to call him Action Jack tonight. And it stems from a meeting we had when the local government elections were held. And we became councillors. And Mr. Warner, I don't know if you remember, but you came to us, Mr. Dukaran's office in St. Augustine, to address us. And we immediately went to Mr. Warner. We said, Mr. Warner, Action Jack, we want a situation in Arima handled. And this situation was called the Mashup Road. I know the Arimians here and in Arima know exactly what I'm speaking about when I say the Mashup Road, because the residents in that area fondly called it that. Because after 28 years after that road fell, that bridge was broken down. 28 years or more. The PNM, the then government of the day, the PNM, said that it cannot be repaired, because if they only start repairing it, the mountains around it will fall and all the houses on top of it will come tumbling down. You ever heard stupidness like that? And, well, you know, history has it that today in Mount Pleasant, that's where we bridges, sorry, Mount Pleasant, today the bridge is fixed, the road is not broken down or mashed up anymore. The mountain is still there with all the houses on it, thanks to this man, Action Jack. Mr. Warner. And I want to take this opportunity again to thank you, Mr. Warner, Action Jack, on behalf of the people of Mount Pleasant and Calvary for doing that favor for them. And it was done speedily, something that could never have been done. This man did it. And, you know, being an Arimian, born and still there, I have seen progress in Arima at 2 speeds all my life. Slow and stop. 2 speeds, ladies and gentlemen. And I am just fed up. Government come, government go. Progress slow. And I had hope, I really had hope that this government, PP government, which I am a member of, thank you, brother, that they would have made a difference in terms of Arima, because you know what? Arima has been disrespected, slighted, ever since I know myself. And I'm really ashamed. Every government has slighted Arima, and I don't know if it stemmed from many years ago, when what they call the father of the nation, Dr. Eric Williams, had a public meeting in Arima, and he said if Trinidad was a donkey, you would find Arima below the tail. I mean, it's an insult. And later on, more recently, an ex-prime minister's wife came up to Arima in a town meeting, and when the Arimians were complaining to her about the progress, the snail's paces at that, she said, don't worry. She said, Arima is bush. So ladies and gentlemen, I know my time's short, so I'll wrap up. I saw an opportunity where this man standing here, Action Jack, thank you, could make a difference concerning the progress of Arima. And so I took the opportunity when I saw he formed a party, and I said, Clinton, you're going to get involved in this organization, this movement, because this man here, if anybody could do it, this man could do it. I thank you, and one more thing, I want to say to Arima and Arimians tonight, don't look back. We're moving with Jack. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you, God bless ILP, and God bless this nation.
Ex-COP Councillor Winston Ramsey.
Good night, people. Look at people. Chaguanas West. I don't know. Jack win already. I want to say, as Action Jack, as my colleague had said, is that when I became a candidate for the Maraca Santa Margarita district, the first minister to work with me was Mr. Jack Warner. And Action Jack made sure I am the first councillor got lights in a recreation ground for that region. He also made sure that I got lights in the basketball court and also the roads rehabilitated. I can say, without a doubt, when people ask me this afternoon, a reporter asked me, so councillor, why you cross over? I said, after suffering for almost 3 years, everybody know at the 26th of this month our term comes to an end. After suffering and getting projects done and getting anything at all from the corporation and the ministers, you would write the ministers, they don't even have the courtesy to reply to the letters. I decide that Action Jack is the way to go. ILP, so long live ILP, and Jack Warner will be the next MP for Chaguanas West. Thank you.
I know former UNC councillor, Dane Singh, from Chaguanas Borough Corporation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If by chance you detect some nervousness in my voice, it's because we're not accustomed speaking to so many people. Apparently, Mr. Warner, everybody looks good in green. Green is a color that makes everybody look good from up here. I am here tonight as the councillor for the electoral district of Edinburgh-Longdonville. I became the councillor for that district because of the support of Mr. Jack Warner. I am here tonight to lend support back to him. When Edinburgh Longdonville needed a councillor that was hardworking and committed, Mr. Jack Warner sent me. Tonight, Edinburgh Longdonville has sent me back to support Mr. Jack Warner in his endeavor to retain this seat. I want to thank, I do not come here tonight alone. I did not make this decision alone. It was in consultation with the burgesses of Edinburgh Longdonville. And when I was talking to them and trying my best to see how I can get them to accept this decision, a lot of them looked at me and say, Councillor, I didn't want you to get vexed between you know, but we gone green already. And so I did not have a very difficult task in converting anyone to agree that Edinburgh Longdonville has gone green in support of Mr. Warner and his party. This election is about choosing an MP. Fortunately, I am from the same village, a few houses away I live from where Mr. Warner grew up. Many times we would look at the initiatives that he has taken in this Chaguanas West District, the things he has done and the programs that he has initiated. And we would say in Longdonville, where he's from, why we didn't have an MP like that way. Tonight, I ask you, the people of Chaguanas West, there are 41 MPs in this country. Which one would you trade for Jack Warner? Which one would you trade for Jack Warner? And that is the decision you are being asked to make tonight. Who will you trade for Jack Warner? There are many constituencies, including mine, that would gladly trade you our MP tomorrow morning. In fact, there are constituencies that would trade you their MP for Jack Warner and give you some money too. Tonight I want to leave with you three things. Three things that cannot be recovered. One is time. Once time has passed, it cannot be recovered. The time for change is now, and it is in the hands of Chaguanas West. The second thing I want to leave with you is the moment. The moment after it has passed cannot be recovered. There will never be a moment like this again in this country. And so we must make use of it. It is moments like these that made Martin Luther King such a historical figure. It is moments like these that made Nelson Mandela such an icon. And it is moments like these that made Gandhi such an internationally worshipped and acclaimed person. And it is moments like these that will cause Trinidad and Tobago to be rescheduled on the right road. So that's the first thing. The first one that cannot be recovered is time. The second one that cannot be recovered is the moment. Seize the moment. And the third one that cannot be recovered is the spoken word. And the word tonight is go green! Go green! Go green!
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. And as we're getting late, I am told don't cut the speech. I won't, but I'll hustle through. Let me thank those three councillors for taking this bold step. A lot of people saying, I support you, no, but affecting gets victimized. If Mandela didn't start what he thought was right and spent 27 years in Robben Island then South Africa would still have had apartheid today. There are times in your life you hold in and think when you have to stand up for what you think is right, and that time is now. So therefore, let me ask you, therefore, I say to you tonight, when I get elected again on July 29th, what will I do for Shogunas West? You already know of my track record, so I want to ask you tonight, my track record is there for all to see. I want to remind you tonight, I had told you last week about on-site doctors at your doorstep. I told you that you're going to bring doctors at your doorstep free of charge. And tonight I'll bring you a short video clip to tell you some more about this on-site doctors, which is free of charge for Shogunas West in the first instance, but the whole country ultimately. The clip, please. Listen good.
Hello, I'm Dr. Shivana Maharaj, and tonight I'm here with Dr. Devin Ramsa and Mr. Richard Howard. On-site doctors are a group of healthcare professionals, including nurses, dietitians, physiotherapists, doctors, and even certified personal trainers. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life of our patients by providing a mobile, holistic healthcare service at our patient's home, office, or even work environment. We have been serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago for some time now, and we now hope to bring the service to you, the people of Shogunas West. Dr. Ramsa is now going to talk a bit more about what we do and how we do it. Dr. Ramsa? To access on-site doctors, all you have to do is pick up your phone and call any one of our numbers. Once the doctors come home to you and make assessments, investigations can be done ranging from blood work to ultrasound at your home. Once a diagnosis is made, treatment is begun at the home, ranging from antibiotics to IV medication. On-site doctors is not only for acutely ill patients, but for chronic disease patients who require long-term care. Furthermore, it's to keep people healthy. The CSO reports that 21% of Trinidadians have chronic diseases, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease. In Shogunas West, this is 2 to 3% higher than the national average. On-site doctors wishing to combat this problem with its trainers working closely with dietitians and doctors to combat this problem, which is explained by Mr. Hall. Based on statistics provided by United Nations earlier this month, Trinidad and Tobago has ranked the 5th fastest country in the world. We are also the smallest country in the top 25 countries. This is a fundamental issue for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and we as on-site doctors see the necessity for an aggressive approach to rectify this problem. We are a team of doctors, trainers, and dietitians who work closely together to have personalized programs tailored to each individual to ensure the maximum results in a short space of time. We wish to bring the service to you all come July 30th, but we need your help. On behalf of on-site doctors, we would now like to thank Mr. Jack Bono for giving us the opportunity to provide this service to you, the people of Shogunas West. That being said, however, this is really possible with the help and support of each and every one of you here tonight, and those of you listening to this message. Thank you.
Where else in the country has that? From August 15th, Shogunas West has on-site doctors. I told you last week about the Digi Green card. When you come to the office in August, you just swipe your card and it tells you an update of what has transpired over your complaint. Last week you also heard about Youth for Warner, that initiative of Ms. Vimala Balkaran. And tonight, I want to tell you about a fourth thing. I want to tell you tonight that in Shogunas West, from next month, we shall introduce special homework centers where retired and current teachers at various centers in Shogunas West shall go and have centers to teach the children their homework and to assist them in whatever lessons they have to do after school. You recall, when I was your Minister of National Security, that crime had been decreasing. Crime has since gone back now and begun to increase. I had said to you in Shogunas West that I shall build a police post in Felicity another one in Pepper Source Village. Those things have not yet started. The funds are there for that, and I shall see that those 2 posts are built because the funds are available. But the best thing I can do for you is to tell you that if we elected, I shall begin a movement, an initiative to complement the work of the police. I intend to implement a strategy which integrates every government ministry, the School of Education, and the PTA in the fight against crime. Crime which is rearing its ugly head in Shogunas West. My friends, this strategy will be my greatest contribution to national development, and the person whom I've chosen to head this project is none other than Michael Narain, a man who has the full backing of Winston Dukaran. Of course, you shall have your box drains and your roads and so on built, but one of the important works I intend to do after we elected is to tackle the conversion of the Endeavour flyover along the same lines as the work I did at the Couva Interchange. And hopefully, one of the contractors for this job will not be SIS. Never before in the history of this country has any one contractor become so directly involved in any political campaign like SIS has been. They pay huge sums of money to some radio talk show hosts to speak positively about Ms. Amin. And these talk show hosts, who together with their wives and girlfriends, have all received numerous CPEP and URP contracts from government as sweeteners as late as last Monday. These talk show hosts on the radio have now sold their souls for less than 30 pieces of silver. These talk show hosts on the radio are loyal to no one but the highest bidder. And Suraj Rambechan and Munilal have given them cell phones, and they've also taken those phones to hundreds of persons to rig the nightly TV people meter, especially on Channel 3. Imagine on Channel 3, they say how Khadija Amin has 5,000 votes, Jakwana has 2,000. But don't be worried, that same channel in the elections for the chairman of UNC, the night before, said Ashvani Mahabir had 92% of the vote and Jakwana had 8%. They never apologized the day after when Jakwana got 12,658 votes and Ashvani got 658. From that day to now, Channel 3 never apologized. And it's the same thing they're doing again with the help of Suraj and Munilal. Let them go ahead. But my friend, you could buy the talk show host. You could, of course, even give them CPEP contracts and so on. But there's one person you cannot bribe. And that person is here tonight. And that person on his deathbed has sworn to return to the government $11,000 in invoices and $1,800 in checks, which they gave him a week ago. You recall last Friday, I embarrassed Khadija Amin when I showed Sholay want a wheelchair, a phone call, and she didn't give him. The following Monday this week, they rushed to, of course, Couva, to Ramesh Ramlochan. Rushed to him after 5 years to see what he can get from them. But let him tell himself the story. He's here tonight, but listen to Ramesh on the screen because his story is a true story. Let me see a tape, please. Guys, where you volume?
Bodyguards of Asteo Panley.
Guys, begin again.
I've been the former driver and bodyguards of Asteo Panley, and after opposition leader Nilab, I took over with Mrs. Kamba for start December. July the 1st, 5 years ago, I had major surgery for cancer. Since then, I've been down and suffering with cancer, and later on contracted diabetes and everything. When I applied for disability, when I first got up from there and thing after the surgery 5 years ago, I applied for disability. A welfare offer by the name of Bisha came to me, and she told me I wasn't disabled. I have terminal cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. I've been diagnosed by every doctor you could get, government, hospital, and otherwise. I wear a colostomy bag, permanent. I wear a permanent catheter, right? And I have an oxygen tank I have to lug around most of the time. And if you tell me that is not disability, then what is disability? Somebody's a minor back problem. I have been begging and knocking at the doorstep of the social services and other institutions for help from this government with no luck whatsoever. I have applied to the Member of Parliament for my area here, Mrs. Ramona Ramdial or Miss Ramona Ram. I want her especially to hear this. I've called the office 22 times. I've spoke to Kuldeep Gaya Prasad, I've spoke to Ms. Bihari, Mr. Maharaj, Ms. Kalauti, and Ms. Eva. On many occasions, those are the people. And they keep promising and promising and promising to come. Nobody ever shows. Jack Warner promised me some help 4 years ago. To this day, not once he has ever failed. Every single month, there's one thing to look forward to, is the help from him. There's always a check in my mailbox. Every month, whether it's a day early or a day late, it's always there. Only a week ago, the Minister for Social Development, Glenn Ramanath Singh, came here to my house with some assistance. He said came from Mrs. Prasad, he said, in the form of invoices to get supplies at the drugstore. After all these years begging and nothing, and now that there's a political little thing going on here for election and a seat, where they're going on this arrest and lying to people for the vote, and chastising a man who have helped people, I can't see fit to do that. I'd rather suffer, but for the truth, and stand up for justice and right, rather than to have something that I really don't deserve because of politics. The invoices was for $10,217.50 and a check for $1,800. That check for $1,800 is what I am entitled to for 5 years now. It's a $600 a month grant for special diet. That is the law. 5 years. I now get 3 months in one check. 5 years I applied for it. I finally get 3 months in one check because of this election. However, I had them copied and I sent it back to the ministry. Thank you very much. You could keep it. I rather suffer for honesty, sincerity, and for Mr. Warner, because he has been there with a little thing every month, but he has been there. Thank you very much for that. Very much for that.
Thank you. I tell you, it pained me to do that, but Ramesh insisted that he must do it. That is a man for 5 years. Every month for 5 years, I send him a check. No election, no fanfare, no shake hands, no piece any papers. 5 years, month after month, I send him a check. I send him grocery, I send him Pampers. That man. And after 5 years, they rushed to him this week with invoices for $10,200. All, and he sent it back. So while those talk show hosts on the radio will be bribed, we want to have more Ramochans in this country, in this constituency, to stand up for what is right, to tell them that you cannot be bought. I want to tell the government that Chaguanas is not for sale. Chaguanas West is not for sale. They bring food cards. Night before, Munira rushed to Monroe Road with a check for $3.2 million to pay them after 60 years. Not me and that again, Father. 60 years. Rushed to them in the middle of the night. They give them land from county land. They give them, of course, food cards. 1,000 food cards given out in Chaguanas West. 1,000 food cards. You want food cards? Here. You want food cards? Here. You want food cards? Here. No, I'm telling you this because if they're allowed to get away with this in Chaguanas West against one man, when there's an election and there is a party or parties, they'll do worse. They shall do worse. They have to be stopped. And you must stop them on July 29th. And the first thing I'm doing in Parliament is to find a question to ask them to tell me the money they spend in Chaguanas West for the election. But before I end, I've forgotten. I have here, I won't tell what I have. I have here a copy of 2 medical certificates. These certificates, I wouldn't read for you. But these certificates are certificates on Miss Khadija Amin. Guys, I tell you, is the worst you could read. I am reading that. The doctor, however, the doctor is Dr. Nilin Babulal, consultant psychiatrist. That's all I will say. Dr. Nilin Babulal, consultant psychiatrist. Right. Before I close, I want to ask the two questions. One for the children and one for their parents. Children, if your parents have a problem, whether day or night, and other than close relatives, who will you call first? Khadija Amin or Uncle Jack Warner? And parents, if you have a problem, whether day or night, and you need your MP, who are you going to call first? Khadija Amin or Jack Warner? I rest my case. So as I close, I want to remind you that I shall be walking through Orchard Gardens and Xavier Street and Petersfield and the rest of Kakandi Road from noon tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. On Sunday morning at 11 a.m., I shall be at a prize distribution function at the Edinburgh Recreation Ground in the Caroni Central constituency, where I shall be giving young Olympians of Caroni Central some prizes. That same day, Sunday of this weekend here, I will have a small drive-about in various parts of my constituency, Endeavour Road, Monroe Road, Bokal, and Marchin and so on. I say this now and hard because I know whatever I say I'm doing, they will rush to do it too. Last week we went to one village, hold a massive cottage meeting. The following morning, Cadiz and Christine rushed to the people to hold a cottage meeting too. They run them. On Monday, the 22nd, we resume our walkabout in Philly City, where we shall meet at our office in Kakandi Road at 4:30 p.m. and afterwards a cottage meeting at 7 p.m. On Tuesday, 23rd of July, another mass public meeting at the New Settlement Ground off County Savannah Road at 6:30 p.m. On Wednesday and Thursday, we walk about in Philly City. Each day we meet at our office in Kakandi Road. On Friday, July 26th, our Green Revolution shall be having our last public meeting of this campaign. This Green Revolution shall meet at Green Park Recreation Ground in Bongsi Street, Philly City, on Friday next week at 6:30 p.m., where we shall have for you surprise after surprise after surprise. You see, you heard my friend from Ghana tonight, Mr. Kisoon. But I want to tell you something. I have one as big as he, if not bigger, for next Friday. Wait and see. This thing is growing and growing. Mark my words. Last but not least, on Sunday, 28th, we shall have the mother of all motorcades. The Green Brigade will traverse Chaguanas West in a display of support never seen before. We meet at 9 a.m. at State Park next Sunday, and the motorcade ends at 4 p.m. going throughout Chaguanas West. The last motorcade we had 550 cars, 550 vehicles. For this one, our aim is to have 1,000. Now, all of this you can find on my Facebook page. I told you just now, I had 41,000 likes. Did any kill me just now? I have 72,000 likes on my Facebook page. On my Facebook page, I have 72,000 likes in 14 days. In 14 days. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa has 88,000 in 3 years. No, nothing more. Also, you'll see all of this on my Twitter account as advertised in newspapers. On the airwaves, you shall also hear more about this. I say to you, all of you who want forms, membership forms, I have sent you tonight. You have forms every Wednesday in the daily newspapers and every Thursday in the Sunshine newspaper. There are forms printed here which you can copy and copy and copy and send in. And then the first week in August, we're opening several offices throughout the country. In August, ILP shall be opening offices in Pointe-a-Pierre, San Fernando, St. Joseph, Dabadi, Rio Claro, Diego Martin, St. Anne's, Faizabad, and 2 in Tabaquit. 2 in Tabaquit. There shall also be an office in Couva North as well, and then later on in Tobago. So again, I say to you all, keep the faith. Keep the faith. I thank all of you who are here tonight. Of course, before I end, I want all of you to take 1 minute silence in respect of the death of the late Justice Wendell Kangaloo. Before we end, please let's take 1 minute silence. Can I ask you to stand, please? 1 minute, but 1 minute silence. I thank you. I want to thank all of you, my constituents, for being here tonight. Remember, when you're voting, look for the sugar cane, sugar and oil. Vote the sugar cane. Remember your history. Remember your roots. Vote for the sugar cane and oil, sugar and oil on the 20th of July. Vote for Jack Warner. Green night, a green night to all of you. I thank you.
Story about a man called Mr. Jack Austin Warner.
Remember, there will be a rerun of this meeting on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. on WIN TV. I want to thank each one of you for coming to this meeting. You made it a success. Have a safe journey home. May God bless you.